yourself.
Alright, so this is Richard, and we're going to start our FMS 7 movement patterns. Start with a deep squat. So we'll get you standing shoulder width apart with your feet straight forward. And we're going to get you to put the dowel across your shoulders, and then we can put it up on top of your head in a comfortable position. And you can put it on top of your head, and now put it up, and just keep in that position. And then we'll get the patient to do a full squat in that position. And come back up. And then we'll go to the side. And we'll get you to do that again. And come back up, and we'll get you to do that one more time. Come back up. Okay. For our next movement, we're going to do the hurdle step. So we get the FMS equipment. We're going to line up the ischial tuberosity with this band here. So it's roughly at 17. Perfect. So we'll get the patient to put up his toes right up to the board. And with the dowel across his shoulders, we're going to get him to keep his head straight forward. And we're going to start with the right leg first. So we're going to get him to flex his knee up and his hip over the little band and touch his heel to the floor and come back into the starting position. And we'll look at the front and then the side. Okay. And then we'll get him to do that again. One more time with the right. Come down. Alright, and now we're going to do it with the left. We're going to go to the side for this one. Alright, now for our next functional movement, we're going to be doing the inline lunge. So we can dismantle this. What we'll need is the flat board and the long dowel. So we'll measure again with the long dowel on the side up to the tibial tuberosity. So it's roughly right here. So we'll measure from the very tip of the board to right here. And this is where his heel will go. So one foot goes on the board at 0, and the other foot goes on the heel at his mark, which was right. So get you to scoot up just a little bit more. Good. Now with the dowel, we're going to get him to put that flat on his back. Make sure it's keeping in contact and make sure he has an upright posture. And now we'll get him to do a lunge by dropping his left knee and touching the board. And come back up, and we'll do one more of that. Good. And then we'll go up and look at the A to P. And one more time. Okay, now we'll get him to switch his feet or his footing to zeroed out, and on the right there, perfect. And then we're going to go from the side again, make sure the dowel's in contact with the back. One more time. Good. Get you to bring your back foot a little bit forward. It's slipping off that mark. Great. And get you to do it one more time. And one more time. And while we're doing this, we're asking if there's any pain with any of the movements. So is there any pain with any of those movements?
No.
Okay. So next we're going to do shoulder mobility. So we'll measure his hand from the very base of his hand to the very end of his finger. So it is roughly at 8. So now we'll instruct the patient. We'll get him to, we can instruct him when he's like this first, but we'll get him to put his hands straight out to the side, make a fist, but tucking his thumbs inside, and then we'll get you to turn around, Richard. So now, with your right hand's going to be your superior hand. So you're going to bring that at the very top of your back, and the left one you're going to bring down, internally rotate, and bring it up like that. Perfect. And then what we do is we measure between these 2 points, and if it's greater than the length of his hand, then it'd be a level 2. Is there any pain with any of that motion? Okay, now we'll do the other side. Okay, so we'll measure again. So it is very close. So we saw during the motion that his right shoulder was a little bit restricted with that internal rotation, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the left, so we're always looking at the superior shoulder. So we're done with the shoulder mobility test. Now we're going to go into the active straight leg raise. So we'll get the patient to lie on the ground. I'm going to get you to lift up your knees for me. And then you can put your legs straight out. Perfect. So now we're going to place the dowel about mid-shaft of the femur. And we're going to get the patient to elevate their left leg and bring it down. Meanwhile, we're also looking at his lower back, his other leg, and the leg that he's lifting to. And bring it down. Okay? Now we'll go to the other side. Okay, good. And one more time. Good. After the active straight leg raise, we're going to get him to do the trunk stability. So we'll get you to flip over onto your stomach, Richard. We're going to have your shoulders, or your arms shoulder width apart, with your fingers, with your thumbs located about at the level of your forehead. So we'll get you to increase it up a little bit. We'll get you to dorsiflex your feet so you're in the push-up position. And now in a one single unit, with your tightening your stomach, your glutes, and everything, we're going to get you to do a push-up from that position. And go down. Get you to do another one. Come down. And one more. And down. Any pain when you do that? No. Okay. Next, we're going to be doing the rotary stability test. That will involve the board as well. So we're going to get you on your hands and knees. Make sure that your hips are 90 degrees and your shoulders are 90 degrees, and that your thumbs and your knees are in contact with the 2x6. So we're going to keep this. First, we're going to start off in a unilateral pattern. So we're going to go right arm, right leg. Get you to bring your knees up just a little bit. Perfect. So we're going to start in a unilateral pattern. So we're going to go right arm, right leg. Stick them out straight. And then you're going to come back and try to touch them. And go back. And then we're going to go from this side because we see an obvious lean, and we're going to get him to do that again. So one more time, Richard, with your right. And do it. Okay, so we show some deficiency there. So now we're going to do number 2 progression. So for a score of 2. So we're going to do opposite. We're going to do right arm and left leg. So we'll get you to stick out your right arm and your left leg. Great. And then come and touch. Stick out again. And now I'm going to go to the side and look at that one. So right arm, left leg. Good. Now we'll do left arm, right leg. And then we come to the front, and we're going to do the left arm and the right leg. Good. All right, and that concludes our 7 movement patterns. Thank you very much. And this is Richard.